My name is Dr. Paul Goodman, and I am doing my favorite thing, speaking and sharing with dentisting humans. The pandemic has changed how we're able to speak and share with dentisting humans. My favorite way to speak and share is in person, so we can meet each other, make new friends, ask questions in person. But this is an awesome way to learn anytime, anywhere. So I'm very grateful to be here and be able to share with you. In CE lectures, dental lectures, trying to learn anything new, it's tough because we have so many things going on in our lives. So I like to start with two things that I hope you can remember from this presentation. First is AATI. AATI is what I think about when I wake up each day, what I think about as a dad, a husband, a friend, a dentist, a leader. And that's always about the impact. What kind of positive impact can I make on another person? How can people help me and make positive impacts on me? I have a lot to learn. That to me is the whole goal of life, always about the impact. And I hope this presentation leaves some impact on you, something you feel you could do a little bit better, a change to help you be more successful, less stressed, reduce the number of times you feel like crying inside a day. And how do I do that? How can you do that? ABC. Always be creative. Always be caring. Always be connecting. Always be communicating. This is what we needed to learn more of in all of our schools, but especially dental school. How do we care? How do we connect? How do we communicate? And this photo here shows you that life is made up of so many awesome things, so many challenging things, so many amazing things. This is part of my life, and I'd love to share part of what I do with you. If I can help you in any way after this presentation, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I love video. I encourage you to make more videos. Being able to share through video, being able to replicate that message is so important. So let's get started on this presentation. Who is the star in our offices, in our lives, on our dental teams? It's the story. The dentist, the team, and the patient. We put together time, effort, energy, money to create a story. So let's take a look at two stories to remember why we do what we do, because dentistry can be frustrating. Dentistry can be challenging. Let's look at these two stories and the impact, the AATI we had on these people and ourselves. Because when you have an awesome impact on someone, whether it's helping them chew, whether it's helping them smile, whether it's helping them feel better about themselves, that impact comes back to you and our team. Dr. Dennis Tarnow is one of my favorite speakers, and he would start a lot of his presentations with, I hope to contribute something to help you as a dentist or team member, to go back to your office to help a patient and then help thousands of patients, but most of all, feel better about yourself. And that is such a great way, such a great goal. So let's take a look at these stories and what kind of impact they have.
So how was your whole experience going through the implant process?
It was incredible. Dr. Goodman was so amazing. He put me at ease. I was completely stressed, but he put me at ease, and he was gentle and thorough and gave me a play-by-play action of what he was doing, which relieved my anxiety. And most importantly, he kept to our timeline, so I would have it completed by the day of my daughter's, well, right before my daughter's wedding, August 3rd, and we got it done July 31st, so I could smile broadly and happily throughout the whole wedding weekend. And I'm so appreciative of his team and what he did. He's so incredible, and his dad would be so proud of him.
So that story right there, what kind of impact, how did that make you feel? Makes you remember why you do what you do. When patients say, what does my insurance cover? Is this going to take long? I can't make that appointment. And they annoy you, and it can be annoying. We're going to talk about that. Remember these stories and the impact that you have. And it starts with a system. Everything that matters needs a system, and everything matters. How are you going to share your story? This is on our office website, so any patient can see it. I have it in my cell phone, because when people aren't that nice to me or I'm feeling down, sometimes I just watch it to make myself feel better. Your morale matters. One of the themes in our practice, in our life, it's a theme, it's a post-pandemic theme for me. I've had challenges with this, is morale matters just as much as money. So if you're watching this, think about your morale. That matters just as much as money. And how can we make the morale of everyone in our lives, our densing lives, be a little bit better in this year? Let's take a look at another story. Hey, dentist friends, it's Paul, Dr. Nacho. I'm sitting with one of my favorite people and patients on earth. We did a full mouth implant case back in 2008 when I was only a 31-year-old dentist. Came in today to get it for us to look at it. It looks awesome. Life-changing impact of dental implants. I'm going to ask Rick, what has been the best part of having these teeth?
Oh, I could smile anytime I want, and I can eat anything I want, and they feel like my real teeth.
That's just so cool. And if someone was saying, my patients, they're not going to go for it because it's too expensive, was the financial investment for you worth it?
Oh, without a doubt, 100%. I would do it again if I had to. So that's one of my favorite patients, my favorite video. I just shot that video a few months ago, or maybe 2 months ago during this pandemic. I did this case when I was 20. It was 2008. I was 31 years old. I'm 43 years old now. Why did this patient trust me to redo his entire mouth? What was it about me? I have more on this case and other presentations I have. But for now, look at that story. It's 50 seconds. The captions, huge tip. Use captions in your video. You can use services to caption your video. People do not often watch videos while the sound is on, but they will read it. So you can read that story. I can use this. So if you're sitting here thinking, why am I watching this lecture? What's in it for me? What's in it for me? WIIFM. So do you want to be a happier dentisting human? Raise your hand. That's us. Do you want to do more patient-centered production and make more money? That's us too. We need to make money. We have teams, we have supplies to buy. Our jobs are tough. Making money allows us to help everyone in the office, the dentist teams and the patients. But does anybody want to work more hours out there? No. Dentisting hours, they're dog year hours, okay? Full contact arts and crafts on patients who don't want to be there. It's tough hours, okay? I do a lot of different jobs. Broker, speaker, dentist, founder of Dental Nachos, dentisting hours, full contact arts and crafts, being shoulder to shoulder with patients, now with even extra PPM. Where you're like, hey, dentistry, hey, dentist, could you wear a lot of stuff while you work? There's a pandemic. Could you now wear more stuff than before? It's like, okay, I'll sweat on the outside, keep my crying on the inside. That's being a dentist. So I could use this video to help so many patients, because I just asked this patient, if you had to do it again, would you do it? They want to see patients like them. They don't want to see people who have what they seem as perfect teeth. I don't have perfect teeth, just want to let you know, I'll share. I'll violate HIPAA on myself. I actually broke a tooth during the pandemic. I guess it's a stressful time. So I don't have perfect teeth. A lot of my patients say, my teeth don't look like yours, okay? I want to see someone that looks like me. And that's why taking videos of all the different patients at different ages and stages in their lives is so valuable. So remember these stories, remember the stories to start, and do what is possible, whatever you could do, just a little bit, to help people move forward. Move forward is a great phrase by Daniel Pink from the book To Sell is Human. Awesome book, I would recommend. Full contact arts and crafts on people who don't want to be there. That is what it's like to be a dentist. My name is Dr. Paul Goodman. I've been a dentist for 18 years and a practice owner for
for 15 years. Being a dentist and working in a dental office reminds me of a lot of A words. Awesome. We can create awesome and amazing results for our patients. How they chew, how they smile, how they feel about themselves. But there's some other A words that go into dentisting. Yes, dentisting. Because dentisting is a full body experience. Physically, mentally, backally, emotionally, soulfully. Being a dentist, working in a dental office can also be annoying. It can at times be awful. So how can we make it a little bit better? That's what I want to do with how to succeed in dentisting without really crying. Give you tools and tips that you can institute immediately. Mainly things that you can say, but also things that you can think. All of us practice our clinical skills, but do we practice what we say? Do we practice our systems? Do we practice how we think? Because there's some magic words, some magic systems to do the things we all want to do as dentisting humans. Increase success, decrease stress, and reduce the number of times we feel like crying inside a day. So I'm so glad you are part of this. And while you're watching, if you have any questions at all, I would love to hear them. If you have concerns, I would love to hear them. If you're watching this in an on-demand setting, just do what I did as a kid. Shout the questions at the TV. Just kidding, that's not going to work. If we're in a live stream setting, ask them in the chat feature. If you're watching this on demand, just reach out to me and I will be glad to answer any questions, any concerns. I would love to hear feedback from you. So as we get started with how to succeed in dentisting without really crying, think about if you just made a few enhancements, a few adjustments, how your dentisting life could be more successful and less stressful.
One of the things that I believe we can do more of is create a system for the words we say. I talk about our dental core, our mind skills, our clinical skills, and our word skills. At the center of it all is our heart skills. What we say is so important. So I want to share with you systems to help with patient communication. Patient in parentheses, because these will help with communication with people in all areas of your life. So when I take CE or presentation, I sometimes get too overwhelmed thinking, I got to do all this stuff tomorrow. And then I do none of this stuff tomorrow. So maybe just pick out one or two things that you think you could try with how to say and hold yourself accountable, hold your team accountable. Let's watch in on this.
Everything that matters needs a system, and everything matters is one of my favorite sayings. My name is Dr. Paul Goodman. I've been a dentist for 18 years and a practice owner for 15 years. As a dentist, we learn a lot about clinical techniques. First use etch, then use bond, then put in composite. We learn systems. But what about systems for our words? To streamline challenging patient interactions. Answers to questions that we get over and over and over again. And also, things that we can say to be more likable to our patients. Because if you're a dentist or work in a dental office, I guarantee that over the past week, you've said something really weird to a patient. You've said to another human being things like, we can't do a bridge here, Millie. Your teeth on either side, they're virgins. Does that sound normal? It doesn't. Poor Millie's thinking, what about the teeth with the big fillings in the back, huh? They are very promiscuous, Millie. They're going out, no one knows what they're doing. So let's talk less weird. Let's figure out ways to streamline challenging patient communication. Let me give you a few tips here. So people will ask you a lot of questions when they're sitting in this chair like I am. And they're worried, afraid, anxious, think it's going to hurt, think it's going to be expensive. Our goal is for them not to be confused. Our goal is for them to feel heard and listened to. So whatever question you are asked, what does my dental insurance cover? Do implants hurt? How long is this going to take? Here's a system for what you can say in return. A checklist for words. So let's model this. What does my insurance cover? My sister's insurance cover 33 veneers. Does my insurance cover 33 veneers? And you want to be like, I think your sister's a liar because there's only 32 teeth. But instead you say this. That's a really good question. A lot of people ask that. That's a really good question. A lot of people ask that. Or, that's a good question. If I were you, I would want to know that too. gives your brain a chance to think, lets the person feel heard. Then you launch into a word system. So after you say, that's a really good question, I would want to know that too. That's a really good question. A lot of people ask that. Say, the way it works is, so we'll go back to, what does my dental insurance cover? That's a really good question. A lot of people ask that. The way it works is, now you're going to fill in the blank with a patient-friendly term to describe dental insurance. What could we use to describe dental insurance? Because it's not really insurance. One of my favorite ways is a coupon. That's a really good question. I would want to know that too if I were you. A lot of people ask that question. The way it works is, dental insurance acts a lot like a coupon. It's a benefit that acts like a coupon. But one of those coupons with blackout dates or restrictions, you know, when you fly on certain airlines, you can't fly on certain dates because of blackout dates. Or you go to a store and you say, does my coupon work on this brand? And they say, not this brand, the brand that nobody likes. So dental insurance acts a lot like a coupon. A benefit that acts like a coupon with blackout dates and restrictions. Then you finish it with, we are going to do the best job possible to maximize the benefit of your coupon. Just 4 to 5 sentences. Let's put them together. This will help you. If you do just this one thing, teach your whole team to say this to patients. What does my dental insurance cover? That's a really good question. A lot of people ask that. I would want to know that too. The way it works is, dental insurance acts a lot like a coupon. A benefit that acts like a coupon with restrictions or blackout dates. We are going to do the best job possible to maximize the benefit of your coupon. So instead of saying insurance, say coupon. Hold yourselves accountable. Hold your team accountable. I have a whole list of A to Z words. Don't say this, say this. Don't say this to seem weird, say this to seem likable. Here's another one right now. Stop saying the F word. It's so unlikable. What's the F word? Fail. Patient comes in, they have the cavity underneath a crown. It's been in their mouth for 17 years, don't you say? Sorry, Millie, your crown has failed. Know what Millie hears? You, also kind of a failure. We're so taught. We're taught in such a toxic, negative way. As dentists and humans, we don't even know how to celebrate success. We're really weird. 17 years. Here's a golden tip, golden word tip. We eat 1,000 meals a year. Soon as work in the mouth fails, but don't say fails, I'm going to give you the word for that in a second. Look in the chart and say, that's been in your mouth for 12 years. We eat 1,000 meals a year. That's 12,000 meals. I said this to a patient. You say, you know what? You're right. That makes me feel better. Or isn't our goal to make people feel better? A car that lasts 17 years we would be proud of. Say it's 17,000 meals. It looks like a cavity has snuck underneath the crown. Just like turning over a rock in a forest, things get underneath it, no matter how good a job you do taking care of it. What we need to do now, but I don't say need, I'm going to say this, save need, a word for need in a second. What happens now is it's time to replace this crown. Don't say fail, say replaced. And if you really want to drive home some humor and likability, say, it's time for this crown to retire. We're going to replace it. This is how you talk to patients like people, not like weird other dentists. Don't create some weird anxiety in people by saying virgin, failure. I like this one. Hopeless prognosis. For number 18 with bone loss, is that a little dramatic? You have to say, hopeless prognosis is devoid of all hope. Stop it. Dial down the weirdness. Dial up the likability. So in this video to review, don't say virgin, just so weird. No one's comfortable hearing the word virgin. Just say tooth without a filling. Don't say fail. Instead say time to replace and retire. I don't say need, I say would benefit from. You need scaling and root planing. So it says you need a crown. This tooth would benefit from a crown. It's like a hard hat for your tooth. Thanks, Dr. Todd Fleischer, my friend. Or a case for your cell phone. My brother uses that one. This tooth would benefit from. Your mouth would benefit from. Your bite would benefit seeing like a prosthodontist who specializes in how teeth bite together. Talk to patients like people. Don't say fail, say replaced. Don't say hopeless prognosis. Say not a good chance of working out well. There's so many ways to replace words. Use different words so patients understand you and they're not confused, like you, and feel like they are listened to. So hopefully some of these word systems will help you. I have a whole A to Z for this. I work with my team on training my team. You're not going to change all your words in one day, but you want to know the best thing about changing words? Ready, dentist? Ready? Dentist teams? It's free, no overhead, just your words. I love CBCTs. but they cost money. Words don't. CBCTs are awesome. Change your words, enhance your words. ABC, always be communicating. Use the ABCs, come up with some of your own in your office. If you do, let me know. I'd love to know about them. Hopefully some of these have helped you. Remember that system. That's a good question. I would want to know that too. A lot of people ask that. The way it works is dental insurance works a lot like a coupon with benefits. These coupons, your dental insurance coupons, have restrictions like blackout dates. But we're going to do the best job possible to maximize the benefit of your coupon. Changing how we talk to patients can change your life in the best way.
So thanks for watching that portion on streamlining patient communication. Hope you found a lot of value. The thing that I would do, if I was sitting in your shoes, I would start calling insurance a coupon. Just do that one thing. Hold your team accountable. Hold yourself accountable. Oh, what does my insurance cover? Your dental insurance is not really an insurance. It's more like a coupon with benefits, with blackout dates. Short things, small changes, little enhancements, tiny adjustments, a little bit better each day makes a lot better dentisting life. Now, let's talk about dental life and career transitions. How to succeed in dentisting without crying. It's very important, the circle of dentisting life. So let's check in on this video that's going to share with you how to succeed in your dental life transitions, the state of the dental transitions world, which has most definitely been affected by the pandemic.
One of my favorite movies is The Lion King, the circle of life. As I see these three turtles at all different ages and stages, it reminds me of the dentisting circle of life. How can we collaborate as dentisting humans? And what are the stages in this dentisting circle of life? And let's examine the dental transitions field. My name is Paul, Dr. Nacho Goodman. I'm a multiple practice owner, practice broker, founder of Dental Nachos, and most of all, someone who wants to be a good friend to dentisting humans. We need more awareness about what happens in our dentisting circle of life. So let's start with finding your first job after dental school. What are options for new grads today when they graduate dental school or complete a GPR or AGD? And I want to deliver value for all of us to think about, whether we're a new grad 20 years ago, a new grad 2 years ago, or new grad 43 years ago, which is how old I am, because we're all on this dental circle of Nacho life plate together. So finding your first job out of dental school or GPR or AGD. First, a GPR or AGD allows you to practice skills that are often not taught in dental school in a supportive environment. So the value of doing a GPR or AGD is that you get to practice things like extractions, bone grafting, implants, rotary endo. Of course, research the different programs, they're all different, but you get to basically be paid to do hands-on CE for a year. So if you are thinking about doing a GPR or AGD, I highly recommend you do one. Now, if you're hiring someone for a job, a GPR or AGD often gives these applicants the patient experience, not just the clinical experience, dealing with people, listening to their attendings. It's a way for you to hire somebody who's already had experience in the dental field for a year. This doesn't mean don't hire someone out of dental school. I'm just here to share awareness for all of us. And as someone who's hired multiple associates in my practice, my requirement is that the dentist completes a GPR AGD before working in our practice for a few reasons. One, I want them to feel confident in troubleshooting things on their own. Two, I want them to have the patient management experience in all different phases. Once you do a trauma case at a GPR or AGD, not having a good contact on a class 2 doesn't seem as big of a deal, and managing that doesn't seem as overwhelming. So finding your first job out of dental school is a big life step in the dental circle of life. How do you find a job? How do you hire an associate? We don't have a lot of great systems, but one of my messages in finding a job or hiring an associate, ABC, always be connecting, always be communicating. This is my recommendations. Go to as many in-person CE courses as possible. During a pandemic, that's not as possible. So what you can do, get yourself out there on social media. Post good questions. Make a video resume. I encourage everyone to make a 30 to 60 second BTL video. What is a BTL video? Bring to life video. That's you saying something like this. I'll share it with you now. Hi, my name is Dr. Paul Goodman. I graduated from Penn Dental in 2002 and completed my general practice residency at Albert Einstein. I like all phases of restorative dentistry, but especially dental implants. I'm looking to join a practice as an associate in the Philadelphia and New Jersey area. If you would like to contact me, reach out to me at paul@dentalnachos.com or call me at 267-896-1942. A quick 30 to 60 second video that includes your contact info, something about you, uploaded to a YouTube page, only include contact info you're comfortable sharing, and share that with people, because bringing yourself to life through the power of video is magic. So now you have your first job out of dental school, and you're thinking, maybe I want to buy a practice. What are some stages in buying a practice? Connect with as many brokers as possible, but there's not regulation in the broker industry, because I'm a broker, and I know brokers don't have to go to a special broker school. So be cautious, especially when dealing with dual representation brokers. Dual representation brokers claim they can work for the buyer and seller at the same time. And I have had unpleasant, problematic experiences as a practice buyer myself, because I purchased 2 practices from a dual representation broker and overpaid for these practices by tens of thousands of dollars. If I knew what I knew now, as a practice broker, as a Dr. Nacho, as someone with experience, as someone who listened to podcasts, this did not exist back in 2011 when I bought my second practice with my dental team, I would have saved tens of thousands of dollars. So get good information and develop your own team of advisors. This may sound like advice your grandmother would give you, but your grandmother was very smart. Good advice is never expensive. Another thing I want to add in, do not sign an associate contract or offer an associate contract without having a dental-focused attorney review it first. Do not offer or do not sign a dental-focused associate contract without having a dental-focused attorney review it first. Why? Nothing bad can happen. One, the attorney can say, this is a great contract. Maybe we could tweak the restrictive covenant, but otherwise looks great. Then you feel good. The red flags could be, there are 20 red flags on page 1 before I got to page 2. You want to make a lot of changes or not take a job like this. The dental-focused attorney is there to protect you. Do not be dentist cheap and not hire one. As a practice broker, it is poignant. But one of the most challenging things I deal with is associates who want to buy a practice and cannot buy a practice where they want or get a bank loan because of a bad associate contract. If you say restrictive covenants are not enforceable, that could be on its face true, but to find out, you may have to spend a lot of money. You may have to get involved in a lawsuit, and banks are not going to lend you money if you're trying to buy a practice inside your restrictive covenant. I know the state of California may be different if you're from California, but getting a dental-focused attorney, incredibly important. Who else should be on this team for buying a practice? Dental-focused accountant, a bank, perhaps a financial coach. You're making a huge life decision. There are buyer coaches out there as well. So look to develop a team, find out great information, because this is the biggest decision of your life. As someone who sells practices, I go and visit dentists when they're about to sell a practice, and many of them have had multiple houses. Some of them have had multiple spouses, but one practice. Once you purchase a practice, you are anchored to that area for a significant period of time. You are anchored to that practice. Do not make it a reactive decision. Make it a decision that you spend time finding out, is this the right fit for me? I'm not saying analysis paralysis. I'm not saying don't buy a practice. What I'm saying is make sure you're prepared, you're aware, and protect yourself. What is another big phase in the dental circle of life? Selling your dental practice. Selling your dental practice is one of the second biggest decisions. It is not easy to do. You have put so much time and effort into your practice, and you need a licensed dentist in your state to buy it. Connect with as many brokers as possible and interview them. Ask good questions. How do they earn their commission? How will they market your practice? Are you a dual representation broker? If they say yes, be very cautious. Use your team, dental-focused accountants and attorneys, to help you choose a good broker. Can you sell a practice on your own? Of course. Is it advisable? That's up to you. As a practice broker, I have learned over the past 5 years of being one. There's so much work and small nuances that go into selling a dental practice. You want to have as many good qualified buyers as possible. One of the worst things that can happen is that you work with a buyer for 6 months and the buyer drops out at the end. And if you do not have a good broker, it's often hard to get another buyer right away. So a good broker brings buyers, connects you to good people, works well with you and your team. Like selling a house, it's possible to do on your own, but you will most likely get the most options of good buyers using a broker. Disclaimer, I am a dental practice broker, but I have learned the hard way through buying practices myself from brokers that acted as dual rep brokers. And as a broker, I am not there to work for the buyer because I work for the seller, but I work with them. If a dual representation broker says they can represent your interest and the interest of the person buying your practice equally, look into that, because that to me is, what's the word for it? Not so nuts and impossible. So those are the stages and phases of the dental circle of life. Finding a job, buying a practice, selling your practice. Interspersed in there, maybe buying a second practice, hiring an associate to work in your practice. The message that I want to leave you with, the value I want you to leave you with is be prepared, be aware, protect yourself, develop a team. You're not supposed to know all this information. You wouldn't just take out impacted wisdom teeth as a general dentist that are 1 millimeter away from the IA nerve. You'd refer that to an oral surgeon. Well, in this world, it's the same thing. Meet those people, the dental focused accountants, the dental focused attorneys, the brokers, the banks, the financial coaches, the consultants, because these decisions are about 2 things, dentists and humans, as they are for me. They're about my money, making money, but more important, they're about my morale. How do I feel about my practice? How do I feel about the job where I work? And oftentimes, if you get a job that's not a good job, it's hard to leave because it's the thing that pays for your rent, food, and loans. So start early. Get as many good options as possible. Rely on your team and develop that dentisting core. Your clinical skills, super important. Just as important, your communication skills and your business skills. So I hope I've delivered some value to you. As I wrap up this segment, I would like to say, for sure, do not sign any contracts without having a dental focused attorney look at it. Whether that's an associate contract, an asset purchase agreement, a letter of intent, have a dental focused attorney review that. Good advice is never expensive. Those 11 minutes could have saved many dentists that I know hundreds of thousands of dollars, a lot of grief and aggravation. Sometimes it could be as poignant as not destroying family relationships. The business of dentistry can be awesome, but it can be awful. Protect yourself, prepare yourself, and aware yourself. As we move to our final segment, and I really appreciate the time that I have here to share with you, just wanted to drive home, glue to your brain or mind. Karen Cortell Rice, my speaker coach, is an amazing person to reach out to on this, about the power of video to improve patient-centered care, team harmony, profitability, and share with you a few of my systems before we wrap up here. As a dentist, do you ever find yourself saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again? My name is Dr. Paul Goodman. I've been a dentist for 18 years, a practice owner for 15 years, and I have to repeat myself as a dentist often. Just goes with the territory. Whether it's with a team thing, a patient thing, whether it's me just talking to myself and be like, keep your crying on the inside, Paul. You can do it. Keep it on the inside. Don't let it out. So the power of video, what I'm doing now, is so magical to engage people, patients, your teams, make more videos, to BTL common things in your office, great things, challenging things, annoying things. Here's an example. At our office here in Pennington Dental Associates, we will be taking temperatures before you go back to see the dentist. The reason we take temperatures is so we can keep everyone as safe as possible during this challenging time on Earth. If you have any questions about our safety policies, just reach out to us at PenningtonDentalCenter.com. You can make an informational one. You can make one about one of my favorite things, dental implants. At Pennington Dental Associates, we love helping people chew and smile with confidence. Many people find that regular dentures move around a lot. One of the coolest things we can do is we can use dental implants, titanium tooth roots, to hold your teeth in place. We make teeth that snap in and out and teeth that stay in all the time. To find out more about the magic of dental implants, how we have helped change people's lives in the best way, how people have said to us, doing dental implants was one of the best things I've ever done for myself, just reach out to us at 609-737-0288 or reach out to us at PenningtonDentalCenter.com. So those were patient-facing videos, but how about some team ones? Hey, being part of a dental team can be awesome, but it also can be challenging because we have so many things going on and so many things to keep track of. The way our inventory system works here is that our assistant, Kate, takes all the orders on Fridays. So if you're in your room and you're running low on something,
This is Dr. Paul Goodman, a practice owner of 15 years, a dentist of 18 years, and someone that strives each day to be more successful, less stressed, and reduce the number of times I feel like crying inside a day as a dentist and human. Here are a few of my 5-minute systems that may help you streamline patient communication, help with your systems. One is our orange form. That is our new patient and emergency form. When someone calls up, we fill out this orange form first, and it's reviewed with one of the dentists so we can pick the best time for them to come in for an emergency. Because patients are people, dentists are people, and teams are people. And sometimes we misschedule a patient into a spot for an emergency that needs more time, or sometimes you just don't have the emotional space for that patient at 4 o'clock on a Friday, and you might find a better time to help that human being. Next form is our purple form. This is our purple implant form. It walks you.
So if you're watching this and this is relevant from the awesome people who are running this conference, the code is 6105. The code is 6105. I'll leave this up here for 10 seconds. If you're watching this years later on demand, the code may not have any relevance to you, but if you're watching this as part of the conference, 6105 is the code. Really, I want to express gratitude. One of my favorite books is Be Kind Here. Gratitude for the people who put this together, because sharing, caring, so important, and sharing good information, especially during time when we can't get together in person, is amazing. I really appreciate what you guys have put into being here. Here's some ways to contact me if you would like. I always like to share fun things. Some are totally free. Some come with a cost, totally up to you. We are having our own amazing virtual conference coming up soon with a whole CE tasting menu on clinical, business, practice management, and more. So you can text BOOST to 215-543-6454. Even if you're watching this years later, that's still our text line, so you can communicate with us through that. If you feel like emailing me and just say, hey, I had a question about the presentation, or this really is working out for me, I would love to hear from you. You can email me at salsasdentalnachos.com. You can visit our website. Those forms towards the end are different colors. If you want free examples of those, just email freenachos@dentalnachos.com, and my team will send you a free example of our purple, yellow, and orange forms. One of the biggest steps is finding a job in dentisting. Second biggest step is hiring an associate. I'd like to produce some great ways to connect people with this, or we're doing great things to connect people with our Dentist Job Connect platform. You can find out how you can advertise your position, or if you're looking for a job, you can find out how you can connect with job by texting job to 215-543-6454. And this whole thing is exactly what I love to do, whether it's in person, whether it's online, whether it's recorded, whether it's live stream. Let's build a community that cares more about each other, collaborates more, competes less. Let's end the dental student and dentist Hunger Games, and really use this time to realize that we can connect with each other as dentisting humans and really support each other to improve all assets of our lives, make our lives more successful, less stressful, reduce the number of times we feel like crying inside a day, be able to go to work in our dental offices knowing that people care about us, not only in the office where we work, but also outside that office. As always, if I can help you in any way, I'm Paul, Dr. Nacho Goodman, a dentist, a dad, a husband, a practice owner, a practice broker, a human being just out here striving to do my best, learning, dropping nachos, picking them up, making nachos, and most of all, trying to have a little more fun in my life. Thanks so much, guys.